After the death of Moses, Israel stands at a turning point. The wilderness years are over, but the promised land lies ahead, still occupied, fortified, and intimidating. At this critical moment, leadership has shifted to Joshua, the longtime assistant of Moses. And the future of an entire nation now rests on his obedience and courage. God speaks directly to Joshua, not with vague encouragement, but with clear authority and responsibility. He commissions him to lead Israel across the Jordan River into the land promised generations earlier to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is not a new promise, it is a fulfilled one waiting to be claimed. God defines the boundaries of the land. Their territory would extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. God assures Joshua of divine presence, echoing a powerful reassurance. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. Leadership does not remove fear, but God's presence removes abandonment. 3 times, God commands Joshua to be strong and courageous. This repetition is intentional. Strength here is not physical power, but inner resolve, and courage is rooted in obedience, not confidence. Joshua is instructed to meditate on the law day and night, not as ritual, but as a strategy for success. Prosperity, God explains, flows from alignment with His word. Joshua responds immediately. He gives orders to prepare provisions, signaling urgency and faith. Even the Reubenites, Gadites, and half of the tribe of Manasseh, who had already received an inheritance on the east of the Jordan, pledged their loyalty, promising to fight with Israel until all the other tribes had received their inheritance. Before Israel crossed the Jordan River, Joshua secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim to survey the land, especially Jericho, a strongly fortified city that guarded the entrance into Canaan. This act was not a sign of fear, but of wisdom and preparation. Joshua had learned from Israel's past mistakes and chose a quieter, more focused mission than the public reconnaissance attempted under Moses. The spies entered Jericho and went to the house of Rahab, a prostitute, where they lodged. Her profession placed her on the margins of society, yet her house, built into or near the city wall, made it a strategic location for travelers and strangers. Their presence did not go unnoticed. The king of Jericho was informed that Israelite spies had entered the city that very night. The king immediately sent messengers to Rahab, ordering her to bring out the men who had come to her house, accusing them of spying on the entire land. Rahab, however, had already hidden the spies on her roof beneath stalks of flax, laid out to dry. She told the king's men that the spies had indeed come, but had already left at dusk, urging them to pursue the men quickly before the city gate closed. Once the king's soldiers left in pursuit toward the Jordan fords, Rahab went up to the roof and revealed the true reason for her actions. She confessed that the people of Jericho had heard of how the Lord dried up the Red Sea for Israel and how Israel defeated the kings Sihon and Og east of the Jordan. Fear had spread throughout the land, and morale had collapsed. She acknowledged Israel's God not as one deity among many, but as supreme over all realms. And because she had shown kindness to the spies, she pleaded for mercy, not only for herself, but for her father, mother, brothers, sisters, and all who belonged to them. Her concern extended beyond survival. It reflected responsibility and faith. The spies agreed to spare her family from death on one condition. She was not to tell anyone about what the spies were doing. She agreed and let them down by a rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. She also instructed them to go and hide in the hills so that the pursuers would not find them, and they were to hide themselves there for 3 days until the pursuers returned to Jericho. Before the 2 spies left, they told her that the oath they had made to spare her family once Israel took over Jericho would only be binding if she tied a scarlet cord in the window through which she let them down, and all her family had to be at her house and remain inside when Israel attacked the city. She was also not to tell anyone what they were doing, or else they would be released from the oath, and Rahab agreed, sent them away, and tied the scarlet cord on the window. Therefore, the scarlet cord became a visible sign of protection, obedience paired with faith. So the 2 Israelite spies left, went into the hills, and stayed there for 3 days until the pursuers returned to Jericho without finding them. They then returned to the Israelites and told Joshua of all that had happened. They said, "The Lord has surely given the whole land into our hand. All the people are melting in fear because of us."
Did you enjoy the story? Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This motivates us to create more Bible-inspired stories to share with you. God bless you.